Hello and welcome back. You know how when you're watching a movie or even reading a book, but let's think about the movie reference right now. When you're watching a movie or TV show and something happens and you're like, wait, why? Why is that happening? Why did he do that? What's going on? And you go and you rewind 5 minutes, right? And you rewatch it and you're like, that's what I thought he said. But it's not computing to me why that's happening, right? Because you got to just press play. You got to just move on. You got to go forward. The answers are not all in the past. There's context clues and answers that map together the past, the present, and the future, but only if you keep moving forward. If you keep pressing pause and rewinding, you're never going to understand. It's never going to manifest and unfold the answer or the solution or what's going to happen next. You will never find the answer to those things inside of the past. You will receive hints, clues, lessons, ideas, but you already lived them. And if you're lost as to what's next, stop digging around your past to figure that out. Move forward. Keep on moving. But then the question is, how do I move? How do I move if I don't know where I'm going or the direction I'm supposed to head? Because that's how you find out where you're supposed to go. You don't just move because you have a finite idea of what you're moving towards. You move forward because the answer to what you're moving towards reveals itself along the journey, along the road of the journey. Sometimes you're led down a road just to experience what that road feels like under your feet. That road is not leading you to your final destination, but you are to become accustomed with that road and learn that road and know what it feels like to walk it. And somehow then that road and learning how it is to walk it will lead you back to the road that is leading you to the destination. But the overall destination that we are all marching through time towards is death. We are on our way to the final transition from this physical form. So all roads, just like how all rivers and streams lead to the ocean, all the roads we take eventually lead us to our transition of death. Now, we have some choices we can make that can shorten the journey, that can take us on a more direct route to that ending. Some of that is a choice. Some of those short roads are not a choice. And that is a truth that many have to accept. And that could be sad, a life cut short, right? Like terminal illness at a young age, things of that nature. So, for those of us who choose to shorten the road, it's not thrusted upon us, My question is, what's the rush? What is it in your present that is tantalizing you towards death? And that needs to be eradicated. That seems common sense, right? Anyway, right, because there's so many roads to travel. There's so much moving forward that we need to do, despite our own feelings of limitations and kryptonites, personal kryptonites. We reach a point where we have to decide the selfish option, which I now see as selfish, because I'm not looking at it as being selfish to my friends and my family. It's selfish because you're removing a key component to the evolution of our species. If you're feeling the struggle and the challenge to just be alive, then that is your evolutionary adversity to overcome. Because there are many like you, and someone needs to break through with the evolution to that issue, to that challenge, to that adversity. Someone is entitled to finding the opportunity within that adversity, and then it is their responsibility to share with as many people as they can, inducing that critical mass change, where if enough people adopt an idea, creates radical evolutionary change throughout the entirety of all human beings on the planet. You will not find the answers rewinding. The only way out, or the only way through it, is forward. But yeah, the only way out is in. That's what I was thinking about. I've seen that posted around a lot, but it's true. I think the majority of us have forgotten the responsibility that we are here for. It's not about our petty wants and desires and our addictions of the flesh. That I want to do what I want, live how I want, even if it's toxic to myself and the people around me. Because I'm entitled because I'm alive. Now, you're alive for a reason. Not to squander your gifts, to poison your body, to deteriorate a child of God. A magnificent blessing of creation, the complexities of human man. And we're still wrapped up in, no one can tell me what to do. I want you to tell you what to do. I want you to see, I want you to tell you what to do. I want you to see your larger responsibility as a human being. Look at the past. Look at our past as a whole. The ancient texts, the accounts, the wars, the battles, the rights, the fights, the suffering, the sacrifice. And we're just gonna end that evolution? And why are they writing it down? Why are the historians taking account of history? Because those who refuse to learn from the past are deemed to repeat it. So trust me, you don't ever need to rewind. If you don't figure it out, if you don't just keep moving forward and applying the wisdom and the lessons of the past, the context clues of the movie, back to that analogy, then you will repeat the same past history of self, of society, of humanity. And I guess my question is, why? When you have so many resources, knowledge, written wisdom, living inspirations all around us, why are you choosing death over life? Wisdom, the evolution of our souls. Well, our souls are pure. Our souls are always. But what if that's the next evolution? How we can integrate that soul into this flesh body and live a more pure and righteous path. But we're caught up in just gonna do whatever I want because life is short and YOLO. You don't only live once. You have an opportunity to live every single day. And the choices and actions you live by within that day decide how much input you're having into the evolution of humanity. We were all given adversities in our lives to overcome. Why? So that we can get out of the water and learn to walk on land. Not to walk on the land and then break our own ankles so that we can go back to the water. There is a forward motion with everything. And when we return and we repeat and we recycle and we joke about it and we laugh, we make light of our own lacks of self-discipline, of lack of self-mastery, lack of self-love, lack of will. That sound, yeah, it's the opposite of evolution. It's devolving. And we're forgetting our part in this. It's not just about us. It's about the whole. It's about the many. Now, there's a story in the Bible about leaving the 99 for the one. I'm sure, even if you're not religious, you've seen that on Facebook or heard about it. The concept is, if you're a shepherd and you got 99 or 99 sheep, or was it 100 sheep? Whatever. You got 99 sheep here. And there's one sheep, one little guy who got away. And Jesus had asked the shepherd, or I forget the story completely, but they were having a conversation about this. And he was like, what would you do? I would go and get that sheep. I would leave the 99 to bring back that one. Why? Because the 99 are good. They're safe. They're doing what they're supposed to do. They're located where they're supposed to be found. But that one that is the unknown, yeah, it's out there, might be breaking its ankle, trying to climb a rock face because it thinks it's a mountain goat. And it's going to hurt itself. It could hurt others even with its fall. It could become a danger to itself and others. So you go get it. Now that story was then used to explain Jesus as the shepherd and why he would leave 99 faithful servants, non-sinners, or maybe sinners who've already repented and they've been born again. He would leave them to go after that one sinner or that one hopeless person, that one person who feels there's no hope and no worth living, and they refuse the knowledge of wisdom, and they go and they're seeking death. Why? Why is he going to go look for that one? Because the angels will rejoice louder for when someone who has disconnected themselves from the herd or their faith and return back to that righteous path. Because the redemption they feel, the weight that's lifted, it's only within that feeling that you can truly have unwavering faith in God. When you've been redeemed. And to think that we choose this, after the redemption, after the understanding, after hearing the wisdom, after the angels rejoice of the reconciliation, and you go running off that cliff again. I did it, but not when I truly realized who was saving me from that cliff, right? Or the concept that someone does care enough, even if it's this invisible force of subtle energy. That subtle energy is unconditional love. And to spit in the face of the unwavering, unconditional love of the universe and the King of the universe, God, blows my mind. To spit in the face of power that truly loves you. Look at what we're given. Law of attraction? That's insanity. That's a gift. That is a blessing. Right? That's a law of the universe that I can utilize in my own life to create my own reality and to become blessed. And then because of that, I'm gonna tell it to people. And we squander. We rewind. And we cycle and we repeat. And we squander. That's the best thing I could think of. It's just you're squandering the blessing of life. with overconsumption, with lack of self-discipline, with just, having fun all the time, like doing just what you want all the time, not what you need, not what's good for you, not what's going to give you longevity in life. And there's another story in the Bible that talk about, there's a town, memory. I wrote it down. Wish I could, but I don't number my notes well, so I'd have to be like this for days. But there's another story talking about there's a town and they're winemakers. Or no, they were grape farmers, but then they ended up learning how to make the wine. And the whole town became like winos, like just drunkards, drinking a lot, partying all the time. And they're like, this is a gift from God, the wine. Okay, I can see that. Yeah, like the grapes and like it's a gift of nature. So they're celebrating and they're like this. Yeah, it's a part of it. But then a dude, forget who, comes in and he's looking at the vines and there's insects, parasites, and the vines are rotting and the fruit is rotting because the town is too busy, they're too preoccupied celebrating that life of the wine and that blessing and that gift. But it's all about balance. Just as much as they put in the self-discipline and the hard work to till that soil, to plant those vines, it's about consistently doing so. There's nothing saying you can't enjoy the taste of the fruits of your labor, but you must keep laboring. That's self-mastery. You cannot let your crops die because you're so busy celebrating and partying and only doing the enjoyable aspects of life. That's not life. That's not living life. That is experiencing a fraction of what being alive truly is about. Because within grief, within struggle, within self-discipline, within all those unfavorable emotions everyone runs away from, is the full complexities and the wisdom of what life truly means. And that's why everyone feels lost. Because you're consuming the wrong food. If you eat French fries every day with unsaturated fat or whatever, vegetable shortening every day, you're gonna get chunky. You're gonna get some of that unwanted saturated fat all up on your intestines and things, right? And then now you gotta go and get and reverse that effect. And that takes work and effort. And then you see that progress and you go, awesome. It's time for me to start eating the fries again. What? Why? Why? So that you can go through the 3 times harder work that it is to take away the fat that was gained, rather than implementing the self-discipline needed to have a balanced diet? That's personal too. As much as I want the fried potatoes every day in that Crisco, the vegetable shortening, it's taking chunks of, so far a month now, to get that unhealthy feeling out of my body. And I'm just starting to feel better, right? A month of consistent busting my ass physically and changing my entire diet. Why would I choose? Okay, well, I feel better, so I'll start eating the potatoes again every day. That's not wisdom. I don't know what that is, but it's not what you're supposed to be doing. And it's not like it's not there begging in my mind, you know? Same with all my other addictions. You don't think I wake up and I'm like, oh, today's a great day to go to the bar? Yeah, but I still keep making that consistent choice not to. And it is hard. But life is beautiful and hard at the same time. Beautiful and sad at the same time. Blessings raining down from above, but also hands in the dirt, toiling the soil. They must go together. And I wonder, I've made a podcast about this like 8 years ago, and I let it just dissipate in the ether because I was young and just way more erratic and less wise, less where I am now. But I had mentioned how I have a theory that it's those people, the overindulgence and the living only at the surface level of the complexities of human experience, only experiencing just a handful, not the full totality. Those are the ones that have a great time until they're 40 and 50, 60, until they hit an age where their body can no longer handle the overindulgence of their lifestyle, and now they're too tired and lack of motivation to turn it around. It's too late. And this is what we call the midlife crisis. And so it gets turned around in different ways, like consumerism. Let's buy that new sports car. Let's, when in reality, that purposeless feeling you're experiencing is because you have not gone down every road that your feet begged you to feel. You only chose the one of convenience, the one of ease, the one of gluttony, overindulgence, lack of discipline. And we all end up the same place, death. But when you only have that one road to look back on, you don't have a memoir or a novel of what your life was. You've got a comic book. And that seems to really matter to me a lot when I think about it. Because death scares me, for sure. Who thinks of death and they're like no fear at all? Of course it's terrifying to think about. Right? And the one comfort that I can find in the unknown of that ending transition is that when I look back on my life and the complexities of it, it will be a painting by Van Gogh or a memoir written by, it'll just be this detailed, intricate story, which makes it, in its own way, a masterpiece. if I can look back at my life and have endless chapters of struggle, strength, overcoming, thriving, fun, blessings, experience, then I know I did the best I could at being the full totality of the human man, the human being. And that provides comfort. I pushed my mind as far as I could. I pushed my body, pushed my mastery in emotional intelligence, pushed my knowledge, my wisdom, my personal power. Just how far, how strong, how great can I do that? Can I push that to be? And I think that will be the only thing that will make me leave with a smile on my face. Because I also believe that if you have too much weight, well, this is also a Bible thing, if you have too much weight on your heart, guilt, shame, regret, resentment, hate, where do you think your light-bodied soul, your frequency, your vibrational self returns to when you think of the law of attraction? Where do you go? Back to emotions of guilt, shame, resentment, hate. And is that not hell? So in that last 7 minutes, 7 seconds of that brain firing those last electrical impulses, I want to feel that well up in my chest. The feeling of success, the feeling of love, the feel of accomplishment of that I did my best. I tried my hardest. And that is peace. I can be at peace with myself at that moment. And if you're in peace, where will your vibrational, energetic body flow to and attract to after that? Back into peace. And what is that, if not heaven? Those who refuse to find me harm themselves. Those who hate me love death. That's a wisdom's call. It's the last sentence of that proverb. Those who do not find me harm themselves. Those who hate me love death. So, are you on the road of wisdom? Or do you hate wisdom? Or are you on the road, the short path to death? Because that's one way to shorten that road. Refuse wisdom. Hate wisdom. And your days will shorten. And your time here to experience the full complexities of being alive will be dramatically and drastically shortened. Wisdom. Those who do not find me harm themselves. Those who hate me love death. It's all your choice. All right. Have a good rest of your day. See you guys tomorrow. Yeah? All right. I'll see you here.